Hey friends, I really wanted to make a video concerning the WoW Classic announcement just because I'm super excited about it. I just can't believe that they're actually going to release vanilla servers. So I found out yesterday, after I was leaving work, I was chatting with my friend Daria on the way out, and she and her boyfriend were watching Blizzcon, you know, through the virtual pass or whatever, and she was like, oh, did you hear the WoW news? And I had been at work all day, so I was like, no, I haven't been able to, like, check Twitter, I haven't been able to check anything. She's like, oh my god, there was a big announcement. Oh, they announced a new expansion, right? Like, what is it? What is it? Is it, like, Throne of the Tides? Is it with the Naga? What's going on? So she's like, yeah, they announced the new expansion. It's, you know, another Destruction of Azeroth or something. But there was another announcement. And I was like, what was the other announcement? And she goes, they're gonna release vanilla servers. And I pretty much lost my shit. I was like, no way. Are you serious? They finally gave in to everybody? They're gonna release vanilla servers? I just couldn't believe it. I had to go online right away and try to find more information. I couldn't really find too much information, just, you know, besides the cinematic trailer that they did release, which was awesome. It was beautifully laid out. The music was so nostalgic. Like, when you, at the beginning of the trailer, it's that music that I remember from Molten Core. Like, as soon as you enter Lucifron's cave, you hear this foreboding, ominous music, and it's so scary and tense, and it's amazing. I love it. So, like, they started the trailer with that. It just got me hooked right away. Totally gonna play the classic WoW server. Like, there's no question about it. I'm really looking forward to playing it. I'm also looking forward to being able to stream it. I've kind of hit a wall right now with WoW. There's still things to do in game, but I feel like I mostly just do weekly stuff or daily stuff. I'm not really raiding much. I don't do LFRs. I haven't even killed Jaden on heroic. That's just how lack of motivated I am. Like, I still need the achievement, by the way. If anybody wants to run me through Alliance side, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, because my guild kind of slowly dissipated and people stopped raiding, or people left the guild, or people transferred servers, so my guild is pretty inactive right now. So doing Tomb of Sargeras with my guild on heroic is pretty non-existent right now. I tried to join pug groups and it never works out, you know, it's just not successful, and I kind of gave up, so I haven't really been playing WoW that much lately. And I kind of feel bad about that because, like, I want to play. Like, I love the game. I've been playing it for however many years. I know that the classic server isn't going to come out anytime soon, but it's still something very exciting and something that I could really look forward to. As for my thoughts on the classic server, I'm curious about a few things, and I'm wondering if everybody else is thinking these things, because I haven't done much research or browsed forums or anything like that yet. I'm excited because vanilla WoW is not easy. And I feel like nowadays with games, that's really what's lacking. Like, everything is just really easy. There's no grind, no challenge. Nowadays, it's so easy to get gear, so easy to level up, it's so easy to figure out where to do a quest. There's so many things in the game now that weren't there in vanilla that I feel like people will take for granted, especially those who have never played vanilla before. For example, the experience grind. It's going to be a lot harder to level. There's no heirloom mount, there's no looking for groups, no summoning stones. From what I remember, I don't remember there being summoning stones. I remember I physically had to walk to every instance. The experience grind is a lot harder. I remember getting to level 60, towards the 50s, I think I was averaging like 1.5 level per day, and I was playing for at least like 8 hours a day back then. So the experience grind is definitely a lot harder. Weapon skills. I feel like people take that for granted. Back in vanilla, you had to train your weapons. So you had to go to a trainer, for example, and learn how to use a two-handed mace, or learn how to use two-handed sword. There were some weapons that you'd have to travel to a vendor in like a far distant city in order to learn the weapon skill. I remember having to travel to Ironforge a bunch of times to find the weaponsmith there and learn how to use like two-handed maces or something like that. And then once you learn the skill, you had to level it up. If you learn the two-handed mace skill and you have a two-handed mace, say it's supposed to do like 300 DPS auto swing, like, you're not going to do 300 DPS auto swing at weapon level 1. You had to literally find like critters or something to hit constantly, repeated over and over until you leveled your weapon and got the skill up. Kind of like a skill profession nowadays. Like with first aid, you have to keep making bandages until you level your skill up. The same thing was like that with weapons. Nowadays in WoW, you get a weapon and you can use it right away to its full potential, but back in the day, you had to level it up. Another thing I'm curious about are offhand weapons. I remember I used to play a priest. Wands were really big for priests back in the day. They were like an extra attack. You had this ability where you could shoot your wand at a target, and I remember doing that like for Onyxia fights where, you know, like you needed more dots. Priests would be like Shadow Word Pain and use your wand on Onyxia to like do more DPS, do more damage. Hunters had to purchase ammo. Warlocks had to collect soul shards. Like none of that exists in the game anymore. It was very challenging. You had to make sure you had enough ammo to do an instance or a raid, and you had to have enough space in your bags for it too. You also had to purchase regents. So I remember as a priest, when I learned the spell like Power Word Fortitude, that was like the group spell, I needed a candle in order to cast it. If I had run out of candles, I would not be able to cast the group spell. I'm curious to see if they're still gonna keep that in the game too, because I think that made the game more challenging and fun. Same thing with paladin blessings. Like I remember that before they created greater blessings, each blessing lasted for like 5 minutes, maybe it was 10 minutes, I don't know. But I remember like if you're casting the blessings on an entire raid, by the time you got to the 40th person, the first person with the blessing practically expired. Curious to see what they're gonna do with spells and regents and abilities like that. Next thing I'm thinking about is how people take gold for granted in game nowadays. Back in the day, it was really hard to make money. I must have been maybe in my 20s somewhere, like level 20s, when I got like my first 1 piece of gold. And I was like super excited. I was like, wow, I have 1 gold. Like I must be like, you know, making a lot of money here. And nowadays, like 1 gold is nothing. Like people trash items that are worth 1 gold all the time. Like they don't care. The thing with talents is like talents are really expensive. You had to go to your class trainer, you know, whenever you level up and you unlock these talents. But sometimes you wouldn't have enough gold to purchase them all. So I remember that being a challenge too in Vanilla WoW. Traveling around is a lot harder. Like I mentioned earlier, there weren't any summoning stones, so you literally had to run to instances. I remember as Alliance, Scarlet Monastery was a huge instance to go to, like mid to late 30s. Maybe early 40s, can't remember. But to get to Scarlet Monastery was such a bitch. We had to take a boat, go through the Horde Zone, swim through the lake and everything. And it wasn't until I had rolled Horde towards the end of Vanilla and I was like, are you serious? Undercity is so close to Scarlet Monastery. That is not fair at all. But yeah, ground mounts were really expensive and difficult to get. You didn't get a ground mount until level 40. It was really slow. And then you wouldn't get your epic mount until level 60, except it was really expensive. And we didn't have flying mounts either. Traveling around was really difficult and really challenging, and I feel like we take that for granted a lot. One of the last things that I'm thinking about is I remember Alliance only had access to paladins and Horde only had access to shaman. And I remember that was a big topic of debate back in the day. So I'm really curious to see if they're gonna go back to that. Paladin can only be Alliance and Horde can only be Shaman. Overall, I'm really excited about this Classic WoW announcement. I'm looking forward to it being more challenging. Because like I said, I feel like games nowadays are so easy, or it's like you're in a game and you do something for like 10 minutes and then you watch a 5-minute cinematic. So it's like you're playing a movie. You know, I'd rather be constantly engaged and constantly doing something. Like I really like the grind, I like the level grind. I used to play this game called Ragnarok Online back in the day, and I was one of the first characters to get to max level. Well, maybe like top 30 or top 40 on the server to get to max level, but I used to just grind for XP every day after school. That was like all I would do. I would go to this one zone, it was called the Sphinx, it was like this pyramid, whatever, and I would just go there for hours and hours. I would just put some music on, zone out, and just get that experience, get loot, make money. You know, it was awesome. And I feel like that's lacking in games nowadays. Like the grind has been taken out. So I'm really excited about that. So guys, those are my thoughts on the WoW Classic announcement. I want to know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe, because then you'll be able to see when I release a new video or when I go live. Thanks a lot, guys. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.